Hey everybody, happy Monday night. In today's Facebook Live, I'm going to be talking about 4 things that you need to know, 4 more things actually, that you need to know when you're wanting to transition from clinical medicine into a non-clinical job. This is part 2 of 2. If you can hear me, go ahead and throw a heart or wow face or a like there, so that I know that you can hear me. Hey, if we've never met before, I'm Dr. Diane. I'm a retired clinical anesthesiologist, and I am a executive coach for doctors. Through my signature coaching program, I help doctors be healthy in mind, body, and spirit, and create the lives that they want. Doesn't that sound good? Yes, it does. If you can hear this, again, hit the wow face or the heart button. If you're watching this later, throw a comment in there. Let me know where you're watching from. If it's home, work, or you can even put your city or state in there. So let's talk about the 4 more things that you need to know if you're transitioning from a clinical career. The first things that I talked about in the part 1 that I did last week were mindset, skill set, financials, and support. So today we're going to be talking about connections, resume, MBA or not to MBA, and time frame. So get ready. Is this helpful for you? Just say yes or no in the comments section, or if there's anything more that you want to learn about, because I do a Facebook Live every Monday night at 8. Just throw that in the comments section. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was connections. When you're looking for a non-clinical position, you're going to start to reach out to other people that might already be in industry that you can connect with. And that may be people that you already know, or start reaching out to people on LinkedIn. For those of you who are not social media savvy and you're not on LinkedIn, that's one thing that you need to do is go ahead and create a profile on LinkedIn and start connecting with other people that are interested in what you're interested in doing, or they're doing whatever you're doing is what I mean. So go ahead and do that. Reach out to other people that you know that are already in industry. That's one way to start on your way towards a non-clinical career. It's okay to go ahead and make those applications, but gosh, it always helps to know somebody that it's the same as in clinical as non-clinical. So go ahead and do that. Other ways that you can do is start going to conferences. I think I'd mentioned that last week when I was talking about researching and finding out what you want to do. So start going to conferences that are in industry, meaning pharma, insurance, coding, consultants, that kind of thing. When I'm talking about transitioning into a non-clinical career, I'm not talking about entrepreneurship today. I'm just talking about getting a non-clinical job. So the next thing that I want you guys to consider is getting a resume. That's not a CV, curriculum vitae, that we're used to creating as doctors. A CV is more like your listing of what you've been doing, your education, and the training that you've done and the positions that you have. But it's sort of more of a laundry list, whereas a resume, which is more business oriented, is actually results oriented. So what I'm talking about here is a resume has a goal. So like at the top of your resume, hey, you would go ahead and put, hi Yogi, how are you? Glad you're here. So what you do is you put a goal at the top of your resume. So maybe you're looking for a medical director position where you want to be able to influence the pay structure for the members of that company or something. So you definitely want some kind of a goal at the top. And then in terms of your resume as opposed to CV, say, for example, I was the board of directors of my corporation. And when I was the board directors of my CV, I would have just put, board of directors, blah, 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 right? But if you're writing a resume, since it's results oriented, you want to say, I was on the board of directors of a group of 30 doctors with $10 million in revenue. And during that time, I increased efficiency, decreased turnover time, assured quality. That's the kind of thing that you want to do. Hey, Dr. Natalie, great to see you. If this is providing you guys some value, throw me some hearts or some thumbs up, wow face, so that I know that I'm on the right track for you. You can Google what a resume looks like, but again, it's not like a timeline of your education like a CV. My advice is to get somebody to do it for you. I had somebody do it for me, and they basically, because I had no clue, and they basically interviewed me, and then they made this beautiful resume that was nothing like I could make myself. If you're interested in finding out more about that, shoot me, put some notes in the comment section. I can respond to that. Or better yet, you can go to www.drdiane.com, contact me directly, and then I can hook you up with somebody. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about that comes up a lot when people are thinking about non-clinical jobs are to MBA or not MBA. Do you need an MBA in order to get into business or non-clinical? No. The answer is absolutely not. You do not need that. I find that there's quite a few docs that have gotten their MBA thinking that that's what they would need to transition. You don't need it to transition into business, one. So you don't have to do that. You can do that if you want to learn about running the business part of it. But most docs, like myself, I'm a medical director, and I've been a medical director at various companies. 3 companies, I should say, in the last 6 years, just going from one opportunity to the next. And I've worked right alongside doctors that have MBAs. So it's not something that you need to have. And a couple other things to consider. One is that in terms of the work that you do, there'll be experts in what you're doing in the business. So like, you don't necessarily have to know a lot about finance, because if you do need to know something about finance, there's usually a finance guy or lady that does that. So it's not something that you need to do. They want you for your medical expertise, okay? So the fact that you're a doctor is incredibly useful. If this resonates for you, just throw me a comment, throw me some hearts, throw me some love, so I know that I'm on the right track for you. And doing an MBA takes a couple of years of study in addition to your clinical work, so you want to consider that. What else do I want to tell you about that? Oh yeah, you know what? If you transition first, then it's possible that your company will pay for an MBA. If you're finding that once you transition over that the job that you want or the work that you want to do requires an MBA, then it's possible that your company will help you pay for it. So my advice is don't get an MBA unless you really want to, it's like you're sure, like I want to do business, or you want to be, even some companies, the CMO and everything doesn't have an MBA. So don't worry about that. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? Oh yeah, and the last but not least is, there's something in my chin. Huh. The time frame for looking for a new position. So that depends on what's going on in the market. But I would recommend at least 3 months to look for a job, apply for it, interview, and like even if everything runs smoothly, the times that I have applied for new positions, it takes at least 2 to 3 months for everything to go through, for you to apply, for the recruiter to get back to you, to do the interviews and the final process and HR. It just takes a long time. It feels like a long time, especially when you're looking to transition. So give it at least 3 months, and I would say maybe even 6 months, because you want some time to do the resume, etc. And then there's, as I mentioned before, pulling together, getting your mind right, like I was talking about last time, skill set, financials, and support. So it will take a while to do it. Plus, once you do get a non-clinical position, you'll need to give notice at your clinical job, so that there may be a lead time or lag time there. So I'm hoping this is helpful for you. If this